Het millennium. The millennium. 2000 years. What feels like an arbitrary period. We know a year is a year and a day is a day because the sun goes around the earth. But 2000 years. It's a number we've dreamt up. Or not. It's an important question. What does the year 2000 really mean in the sense of the cycles of nature, of the cycles of culture? We're talking with Hans Cousto. He wrote the Cosmic Octave, and he is the world's expert on frequencies in relation to our life, in relation to culture, in relationship to what happens every day. Hans, what does the millennium mean for you?
Well, if I am quite aware about the calendar and the numbers used by the dates, so we have 1998. This is 3 times 666.
Oh, and that is an important number too, or not?
This is an important number in the Bible, and it's a sum of all numbers up to 36, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 29 and 30 and 31 and 32 and 33, 34, 35, 36. This sum. And 36 is a sum of all numbers to 8. So it's the mathematical addition row, if you like, to call it like this, of the numbers of the octave beginning, the 8. We come to 36. This is the angel, the degrees in the pentagram. And 666, this is a number.
So you're actually saying 1998 is more important than the year 2000 as numbers go?
Oh, I wouldn't say not more important, but at the time now, the most important time is the time now. And so I realize about this year and to the millennium, it's 1 year and a half. So this number may be quite good for a reflection. What will happen? What will we change on this world for the next millennium? What are the greatest mistakes we made, for example, in the last or in this century? And so I think that, for example, to declare certain substances for illegal was maybe the First and the Second World was the most stupid idea humanity had. And this must be changed, elsewhere there will be no freedom on this earth.
Now, illegal substances, what you're talking about is one thing, but the culture is also what we do. You have been involved in music, and lately you are part of the rave scene in Berlin.
Yeah.
Now, Berlin is becoming the center of Germany. It feels like that very much.
Yeah, the party families is, I think, one of the most nicest things Berlin have. The party families are really a living culture, giving, vibrations, new vibrations out of town and to people in town for really being happy together for a certain time on dance floor and in the chill.
We see things like the Love Parade in Berlin, and it's very huge. But is that also part of like every month, every week? Are there similar events, not so big, but the same energy?
Well, the best events are most in more or less little clubs, 200, 300 people, and not in the big clubs, because you can, in a little club, more changing, more making experiences. And we are making a lot of experiences with certain BPM numbers, with certain tuning systems for astronomical tuning, how the scope, the chart is working at a certain time with the music, if you can make the ecstasy a bit more creative, a bit more ecstatic. And so we make too the sounds of the molecules, for example, MDMA or THC.
So you're really tuning the environment, the music and whatever is there, in the same frequency as, for instance, the chemical molecules of the drugs people are using.
Yeah, the difference are some octaves, but by the law of octave it's just transposed all the relations of the frequencies. You hear it maybe 40 octave lower than the molecule is working.
Let's try to explain that octave. It means that if you have a sound, and you have a sound that is twice as fast as a higher thing, then if you play the two at the same time, you don't hear the first sound anymore. It absorbs the other one.
Exactly. And you have the highest resonance on the frequency doubling the fourth time, the 8 times, the 16 time. So always when the factor is 2, you get a special energy level. And so when you transpose by octave, you have a very high affinity to nature. And you find it in nature too, from astronomy, let's say, up to meteorology, up to biology. You find certain resonances which are coming much more often than other ones.
So the rhythm of nature, if you're saying, comes in octaves, but the very small is in fact similar to the very large.
Yeah, there is a resonance between the various, let's say, the microcosmos and the macrocosmos, and we in between, there is just a resonance. And when you tune the music in these resonances, you can be, well, more in vibration with the nature, and not in disharmony, but more in harmony.
Hans, that harmony, in India they use mantras like Om singing. Yeah. Is that the same theory as what you have about this cosmic octave?
The Om was got by meditation. People had a lot of time to look up to the sky, to listen to nature, and they found the primary sound and call it Om. This is the sound out of which the world is made. And when we calculate the sound of the Earth year, 365 and about a quarter of days, and we take this number, about 31,500,000 and some seconds, and we calculate the frequency in the audible range, we get to a C sharp, 136 cycles again, or 272, and this is the primary note, the Zaja in the Indish tuning system, the ground tones, the tuning of the sitar, of the tambura, of a lot of clocks. And when you are making a music in these vibrations, you are in the same morphogenetic field as the surrounding of Earth around the sun each year. You are in correspondence with the seasons. And
so you're saying that they came to this sound, to this frequency by intuition, but you have proven that it in fact is the basic resonance of the Earth.
Yeah, that you can by the way of physics and harmonics exactly declare these frequencies are corresponding to the astronomical rhythm of the Earth, and you find them, for example, the Om very precisely as a C sharp, as a tone of the year. And this is interesting.
Yeah, it's like science proves that they were right in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
or maybe science prove that what we estimate as nice, as what we estimate in meditation, is not just a chaotic, but is a harmonic estimation of things in resonance with nature, so that our visible system, our hearing system is working in a matter we can describe by laws of physics, of harmonics, of resonance. And it's an information about our being.
Does that change? I mean, the music that we know changes slowly. You know, we have techno music. Is that change in the frequencies, the beats that are used? Is that could we predict, for instance, what would be the good music for the year 2000?
Well, good music is equal a question of each person, what is good for me. The techno music is a very interesting music because it's a very clear system of composition, just like in the Baroque time when Bach was composed, the well-tempered piano, the fuga is a very precise construction. And in techno you have sequences and you hear very often the same sequences, so you have enough time to have frequencies follow, responding in your brain.
Your brain follows the music.
And when you are going, let's say, in GABA with 180 BPMs, it's about 3 cycles, 3 times a second. So you have 3 times a second a whole information system going through your brain. You see something, the light show, you hear the sound, and then you move, you are dancing. So you need your body in the same frequency. So you get very well in tune in a frequency other people is getting only by long sitting around in Zen meditations. But the effect is quite similar.
So, a modern way to get the same transcendental effects, even?
Yeah, for sure. Ecstatic transcendental effect.
Okay, well, we'll see what the rhythm will be at the year 2000 parties in Berlin. Thank you, Hans Cousto.
Thank you.